A new day, there has been a lot of theories sparking up and peeking out. I'm very, very, very interested in what some of these theories are. Now, I'm not good at theories, so I personally don't have theories in myself, but I would like to learn other people's theories and then try to mix mine into it. Also, I know I said that I would do the breakdown of Spider-Man Brand New Day, but thing about that is it's an hour and 26 minutes long, a Dana movie. We're going to do it though, because I have to get that breakdown. Just give me time. Maybe tomorrow, maybe another day. I don't know.
Objective. In Avengers, Doomsday, Doctor Doom's true
Diddy.
objective. In Avengers, Doomsday, Doctor Doom may be after something much bigger than simply defeating Earth's heroes. The theory is that Victor Von Doom is hunting down the most powerful children in the multiverse, beings who haven't even reached the full extent of their abilities yet. The biggest name connected to this theory is Franklin Richards, and we've already seen the two interact in the Fantastic Four, First Steps
Okay.
post-credit scene. In the comics, Franklin is one of Marvel's most powerful characters, capable of creating and reshaping
Holy
entire realities,
cow.
even though he's just a child. His potential rivals
Just
that
a
of cosmic
baby.
entities. Beyond Franklin, fans speculate that Doom could also be interested in other incredibly important young characters, such as Love, Thor's adopted daughter. The books.
Probably why Thor daughter would. He's asking her to protect his daughter. Or praying for his daughter or whatever. Oh my god.
One of the most interesting Doomsday theories revolves around the three children's books that appear during the post-credit scene of the Fantastic Four, First Steps. For many viewers, Sue is
Lucky
simply
didn't
reading
watch
to Franklin
this.
Richards, but others believe Marvel hid the entire plot of the movie right in front of everyone's eyes. The first book is The Very Hungry Caterpillar. It's the story of a tiny caterpillar that undergoes a dramatic transformation before becoming a butterfly. That book could symbolize Franklin's own evolution, as Doctor Doom may force him to awaken his powers much earlier than expected. The second book stands out even more, On the Origin of Species by Charles Darwin. The message is clear: only the fittest survive. Since Doomsday is expected to feature incursions destroying entire realities, many fans believe this is a clue that several heroes won't survive the story. Interestingly, Sebastian Stan has already hinted that major characters die in the film, and fans immediately put his name at the top of the list. But it's the third.
Oh my god. I'm not gonna lie. Call me crazy, stary, Larry, Derry, if I'm tweaking here, but superheroes dying or protagonists dying low key brings mm, like makes the film better, dude. Call me crazy, Larry, Terry, Derry, Jerry, but literally, Preach the Roses twin. I genuinely think that it honestly makes the film a little bit better when the protagonist dies. It makes it more interesting, makes it more emotional, especially if it's like a no, not him. Who's going to die in this, bro? Oh my God, is Bucky gonna die? I'm not gonna lie. There was a point in time Bucky was my favorite, bro. He was my favorite. He had so much aura, bro.
Book that's the most intriguing. A Fly Went By tells the story of several animals who panic because of a simple misunderstanding. That's exactly where Doctor Doom comes into the picture. The theory suggests he won't be introduced as an obvious villain, but as someone people can trust. And many fans believe Doomsday will begin with Doom appearing as an ally of the Avengers, only for that single mistake to trigger the collapse of the entire.
I remember that. I do remember that. I remember someone saying that, like, um, that people that he's going to act as if he's Iron Man or Tony Stark, and when they find out that he's not Tony Stark, it's gonna like when they figure out he's not Tony Stark, and then they tell him and he tell him what he's trying to do to the world.
Multiverse. The Great Rivalry. In the comics, Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom are practically destined to be enemies. The leader of the
Yes.
Fantastic Four represents science used to help people,
Anytime I
while
think
Doom is the
of
genius who believes only he has what it takes to save.
anytime I think of Mr. Fantastic, I think of Doom.
the world. Their rivalry has existed for
Vice
decades.
versa.
So many fans expected Avengers, Doomsday to finally place that conflict at the center of the story. But one theory suggests Marvel could take a completely different approach. Even with Pedro Pascal playing Reed Richards, rumors claim Doom's main opponent won't be Mr. Fantastic, but Steve Rogers. That would completely change the dynamic established in the comics and position Captain
Really?
America as Doom's greatest rival. The idea is that Reed would still play an important role, mainly because of his scientific expertise and his connection to the multiverse, but he wouldn't be the central figure.
What if it's like this? He's a psychological rivalry. Oh my God, Tristan. Oh my God. Oh my God. That was nasty, son. But what if he's actually like the intellectual rivalry he has with him? They're both smart. They're both nerds. They're both dorks. And dorks don't like when there's another dork that can be potentially better than him. So they're gonna try to one up each other, trying to outsmart each other. So it's gonna be like an actual rivalry between them mentally, and then Doom is like physically and all the other stuff. Captain America and Doom.
In that intellectual battle. Instead of two geniuses trying to outsmart each other, the story would focus on an ideological clash between two leaders. Steve fighting for freedom, and Doom believing that control is the only solution. Doom's ship.
And then not only that, they said that Captain America is gonna be like Doom, not Doom. Captain America is gonna be like Nomad Captain America, which Nomad Captain America is someone who don't fight for the government or fight under control. He fights for himself. So that could be like, um, you don't want to fight under me. You don't want to listen. You want to take my control. Think I say, then we're gonna have smoke, nigga.
After the events of
Probably what Doom
Fantastic
said.
Four,
He
many
can say it,
fans
to
started
be
wondering
honest.
how Doctor Doom could arrive in the MCU's main universe. One possibility is that Victor Von Doom is already aboard the Fantastic Four's ship when it crosses into Earth 616, the same arrival teased in Thunderbolts. The idea is that while dealing with a crisis in their own universe, the team unknowingly brings Doom into the main reality. He could be a prisoner, a temporary ally, or simply using the Fantastic Four to gain access to an entirely new universe. This theory has one major storytelling advantage. It avoids spending a large portion of Doomsday explaining Doom's origin. The ship's arrival would immediately place the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, and Doom in the same story from the very beginning. It would also create an interesting situation, because the heroes might realize far too late that they accidentally brought home the
And that's what it was right there. That scene is probably gonna be a very, very. Wait, no, 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 not the scene. But maybe something like that. I don't know.
multiverse's greatest threat. Now,
I
I know
forgot.
we didn't actually see
I forgot in that scene he was telling them like just something crazy gonna happen. Or actually, I'm gonna just take that back. Maybe, hear me out, that scene's gonna be super important, right? He's going to tell Thor's going to tell them like he feels something, like he sees something, he had a vision, blah blah blah, something like that. And he was telling everyone, hey man, even Doom at some point, or no Jordan, or like a Doom or someone like that was like, hey man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I seen a vision, something crazy gonna happen, something bad. God, there's something wrong, something bad's gonna happen. I don't know, right? And then what's gonna happen is that whole part of him telling what he's trying to do, da 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 da, is gonna be a factor, something
Doom
like that.
aboard the ship in the trailer. But Marvel could have easily edited him out, just like they removed Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield from the No Way Home trailers. Sentry, Doom's weapon. Bob Reynolds' arrival as Sentry in the MCU has
Oh, Doom's weapon. I told y'all, chat, what I think is how Sentry's gonna play for the Avengers, dude. That he's gonna be the last hope, their blanket, void us and take us away from this nigga, bro.
sparked countless theories about his future. In the comics, Sentry possesses some of the greatest power in Marvel, but he also carries a massive weakness:
Appreciate
his
Lex, man.
connection to the Void, the dark entity representing the destructive side of his powers. One possibility is that Doctor Doom recognizes that weakness and turns Sentry into his ultimate weapon. Instead of directly fighting dozens of heroes, Victor could manipulate Bob's mind through his mastery of both science and magic. That fits Doom's comic book style perfectly, because he rarely
Dang.
wins through brute force alone. Having Sentry under his control would give Doom someone powerful enough to challenge the MCU's strongest heroes, while he focuses on his true objective: taking control of reality. The end of Fox's X-Men. Do you remember the opening of Infinity War? Thanos
Yeah, I
defeats
do, but
Hulk in a
like,
fight, kills
not
Loki,
sitting
and
there.
completely overwhelms Thor. Well, this theory suggests Doomsday wants to accomplish something very similar, showing Doom's threat
That's what I said. I said the same thing. I was literally talking to my dad about it. I said that I feel like they're gonna try to make this another one like this. And I said this, and what Bucky's saying that there gonna be people dying too. And you know, what I think I told my dad too. Call me crazy, but I think the lady from Black Panther, she's gonna die. Yep, yep. I think she's gonna die. The girl Black Panther, I forgot her name. I think she's gonna die. Hey, I'm gonna keep this like this. I'm still that neat. I think she's gonna die. It's gonna help for the future though. Trust Shira or whatever her name is. But yeah, I feel like that this is gonna be very, very similar. A lot of characters are gonna die. He's gonna be overpowered, and like I said, it's gonna be like that. Something crazy is gonna happen. He's gonna be super overpowered. Sentry's gonna say, Sentry gotta avoid them and take off a run, and we'll see you in the next movie, bro. Dead serious. That's how I think it's gonna
level
be, bro.
right from the opening scene. One of the
said
strongest
to like
theories
some-
emerged after the trailer revealed Cyclops firing his optic blasts inside a destroyed Xavier school. Looking like he's fighting a battle he has no chance of winning. The theory suggests the X-Men are attacked by Doctor
That'd be
Doom
rage
within
quit.
the movie's opening minutes. Instead of arriving as reinforcements for the Avengers, they become the example that demonstrates just how terrifying Doom really is. Some rumors go even further, claiming Beast will be the only member of the team to survive the initial attack. If that's true, he could
Whoa.
become the one responsible for warning the other heroes about what Doom is capable of before it's too late. Besides adding emotional weight, this would also solve another major problem: introducing the X-Men into the MCU without spending a huge amount of time establishing the team. The audience would immediately understand that they already existed, that they were incredibly
yeah.
powerful, and that even they couldn't stop Doom. If Doomsday follows this path, the X-Men's defeat won't just shock fans. It will send a very clear message. Doctor Doom is a far greater threat than any villain we've ever seen.
But listen to what I listen. This theory is not crazy. This theory right here is not crazy to say because there's speculation going on, and there's some source that it was said that Spider-Man Brand New Day was an opening or a door to a certain famous, already known heroes. Let me see if I can find it. Seen on my Twitter. Okay, look. Kevin Feige teases that the ending of Spider-Man Brand New Day leads into another very well-known Marvel franchise. So now, instead of Fox's X-Men, it's going to be Marvel X-Men. That's a very big question mark, maybe. And then not only that, a lot of also people were saying that Spider-Man causes something about the X-Men with Magneto and stuff like that. So this could be a very, 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 very true. Very, 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 like, there's a chance it could be 100% true theory. And I'm not gonna lie to all theories. I stand with this one right here.
Before. Spider-Man's death. One of the most shocking theories
Okay, I keep seeing. Oh, I keep seeing this right here. Or I'm hearing about this, and this right here can probably fill in what I'm thinking. People are saying Brand New Day last trailer, post credit scene was saying Toby came back and Toby's back like that and stuff like that. And we're gonna see, bro. And he probably comes back and then dies.
claims the movie could begin with an even bigger tragedy: the death of Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker. According to the leaks, the opening doesn't take place on Earth 616, but in Tobey's universe. That's where Wolverine and Deadpool appear on an almost impossible mission. Their objective is to stop an incursion. The only way to save one universe is to destroy the other before the collision happens. That's where the theory becomes truly heartbreaking. To preserve their own universe, Wolverine and Deadpool would have to sacrifice the world where Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man lives. Peter would fight to defend his reality, but he'd ultimately ultimately die alongside his entire universe, and that choice wouldn't be
Dang.
random. After the success of Spider-Man No Way Home, Tobey once again became one of the MCU's most beloved characters. Killing him within the opening minutes would immediately establish that no one is truly safe. It's all Captain America's fault. Avengers. Doomsday could turn one of the MCU's happiest endings into
I'm not going to lie to you. If Toby dies, that is going to be December 17th, all the way to literal next year, is going to be so tragic. The amount of post of Toby dying is going to hit, especially if they give him a good cinematic moment, bro. Cinematic scene where I was like, wait a minute, that was niggas been gonna cry in that film, bro. I'm seeing a lot of niggas
one
cry.
of its biggest problems.
That
After
one's
returning the
true.
Infinity Stones to their proper places in the timeline, Captain America chooses not to return to the present. Instead, he stays in the past to finally live the life he'd always wanted with Peggy Carter. At the time, most fans simply saw that as Steve's happy ending. But when you look at the MCU's own multiverse rules, that decision may have created an entirely new reality. After all, Steve didn't stay in the past for just a few days. He spent decades there, changing events and building an entirely different
I also seen people say that he knows what's gonna happen.
timeline. That's exactly where this theory gains momentum. Loki established that branched timelines can continue existing, especially after the TVA stopped functioning the way it once did. Since nobody showed up to erase Steve's new timeline, it continued growing naturally. It's creating new events, new characters, and entirely new possibilities. Some rumors even claim that Doomsday promotional material features a baby connected to one of those alternate timelines. Many believe that's a clue that the consequences of Steve's decision are finally beginning to surface decades later. According to the multiverse rules introduced in Doctor Strange, when different universes begin interfering with one another, incursions begin. So Steve Rogers didn't intentionally create the chaos, but his personal choice may have started an uncontrollable domino effect. In one of those altered timelines, Tony Stark could have grown up under completely different circumstances, raised by Hydra, developing an authoritarian view of the world. That version of Tony would eventually become Doctor Doom, convinced that the only way to stop future incursions is by merging every reality into a single universe under his control. That would make Doomsday more than just another battle against a villain. It would become the direct consequence of choices the heroes themselves made years ago. Loki helps Steve Rogers. Another theory centers around a meeting that nobody ever expected to see. Loki and Steve Rogers face to face years after Endgame. It all began with rumors that a possible re-release of Endgame could include a brand new scene showing what happened immediately after Steve decided to remain in the past. According to the theory, Steve's peaceful life would suddenly be interrupted by Loki's arrival. The trailer also fueled that speculation. Instead of wearing the outfit seen at the end of Loki Season 2, Loki appears dressed once again as a TVA analyst, complete with an ID badge and the symbol of the tree representing the new multiverse.
That's not a bad theory neither. This isn't a bad theory neither. He's literally going to go back in the suit. Let him know, hey man, I'm from TVA. Here's my card. Da 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 da. Something's bad finna happen.
Another
It's
interesting
not a
detail.
bad theory.
The hand holding that badge is wearing a wedding ring. Since Loki
I will say this. This is maybe another one I can stand
has never
with.
been married, many fans believe that hand actually belongs to Steve Rogers. If that's true, the scene would show Loki revealing his true identity to Steve, explaining that every change caused by time
This could be peak.
travel, including Loki's own escape with the Tesseract in 2012, has placed the entire multiverse
Damn, that was
in
in
danger. The theory goes even
2012,
further. It
bro.
claims Loki would take Steve, Peggy, and even their son to another universe, possibly the Fantastic Four's reality, in an attempt to prevent that timeline from being destroyed. That would also explain why Steve is aboard the Fantastic Four's ship in the trailer, the same scene where he's shown holding Mjolnir at the end of Kang. For a long time, Kang was introduced as the greatest threat of the multiverse
Dang.
saga. But that's
The
over now.
greatest
Because of
what if
that,
in
one
Marvel.
theory that has become increasingly popular suggests that Doctor Doom's very first targets will be every single Kang variant, including the ones we saw in the Quantumania
sense.
post-credit scene. According to rumors, the movie will show Doom destroying the Council of Kangs right at the beginning of the story. In the comics, that group brings together different versions of Kang, each one controlling a portion of the multiverse. The idea would be for Doom to eliminate all of them at once, bringing Kong's era to an end before the real real conflict has even begun. Besides getting rid of that
That can
long-standing
make
threat, it would
sense.
immediately place Victor Von Doom on an entirely different level. This theory gained even more traction because Marvel completely changed the direction of the multiverse saga. What once seemed to be leading toward Avengers, the Kang Dynasty now positions Doctor Doom as the franchise's main threat. For many fans, the fastest way to justify that change would be to show Doom defeating the character who previously stood at the very top of the food chain. Avengers versus X-Men. One of the most ambitious possibilities for Avengers. Doomsday is that the movie will place the Avengers
I
and the
wanted this
X-Men
so
on
bad back in the
opposite
day.
sides before the battle against Doctor Doom. With the concept of incursions where universes begin colliding and threatening each other's existence, the situation could
What do we
create a
see
conflict in which both
mad
teams of heroes are forced to
heroes?
fight for the survival of their own realities. The interesting part is that it wouldn't be a war between heroes and villains. It would be a conflict born out of desperation. The Avengers could believe they need to protect Earth 616, while the X-Men fight to save their own universe. The idea is reminiscent of the famous Avengers vs. X-Men comic storyline, but with one major difference:
Oh.
the real enemy would be watching everything from a distance. And, well, after the trailers, this barely even feels like a theory anymore. Captain Hydra. After the first trailer, one of the most
were
talked
saying it's
about
like
Doomsday
Nomad.
theories claims that the Steve Rogers shown in
Or
the
is it
teaser
actually
isn't the
Captain
Captain America we know,
Yeah.
but rather a variant known as Captain Hydra. The suspicion began because of several small details in the scene. Some fans believe his eyes look darker than usual, while Thor, Sam Wilson, and Bucky all react strangely when they see him. For many people, that wouldn't simply be the surprise of seeing Steve again. It would be an indication that something is terribly wrong with him. The idea comes directly from the comics, specifically the Secret Empire storyline. In that story, a fragment of the cosmic
Oh.
cube rewrites reality and turns Steve Rogers into a Hydra agent from childhood. The most interesting part is that this version is also able to lift Mjolnir, because the hammer's enchantment itself ends up being altered. In other words, the fact that Steve is wielding Thor's weapon doesn't necessarily prove that he's still a hero. The theory also fits the MCU's current direction. The multiverse saga has already introduced countless variants of
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. It's all clicking. Because why would Thor be shocked about that? He knew he had potential picking up in when that one Avengers movie, and he tried to pick it up and he moved it. He dabbed him up over like, I knew it, or he was like, he congratulated him like when he was fighting Thanos with the hammer. Oh my God. It's all clicking.
familiar characters, showing that
This
even
is
the greatest
crazy.
heroes can end up following completely different paths. An evil Captain America would be a way to surprise audiences
Hey, what are you doing? As I'm looking at you, looking at me, looking at me, looking at you, look at me, look at me, look at you, look at me. What the fuck is you doing? You still haven't hit that like button, comment, and subscribe? What the fuck is you doing right now? Get to it right now. Stop staring at me. You better like it right now. Yeah, like that button, Lord, no. Stupid ass, no. And subscribe. It's right there. Might as well do it for the free ski. People always want anything for free. This for free. Do it. And comment. Might as well say hi. Something. Bye. Back to the video.
And could that be the beginning of what he said? Captain America was the first example of them becoming bad.
without undoing the ending of
alternate
Endgame, while still preserving
alternate
Sam
version.
Wilson's legacy as
Or-
the new Captain America. Of course, it's all still
Alternate
speculation. Another
version.
possibility is that this Steve is simply a variant from another universe, with no connection to Hydra whatsoever. Even so, if Marvel decides to adapt this famous comic storyline, a confrontation between the Avengers and a corrupted Captain America has the potential to become one of the movie's most impactful moments: Thor's Ascension. One of the biggest expectations fans have for this movie is discovering just how far Thor can still evolve. The Rune King. Thor theory suggests that the God of Thunder could reach his most powerful comic book form, where every step of his journey throughout the MCU has been preparing him for this exact moment. Thor has lost almost everything: his family, his kingdom, his
Whoa.
friends, and even his confidence as a leader. And as we've already seen, there's also the possibility that he'll begin the movie by losing his adopted daughter, Love. Ever since Thor: Ragnarok, when Odin revealed that his
That's what
son's
he
true
tried.
power never came
That's
from
what
a
biggest
hammer
crane.
alone. Thor has been on a journey to understand what it truly means to be a god. In the comics, Rune King Thor reaches an almost absolute level of knowledge after making an enormous sacrifice, coming to understand the very forces that govern reality itself. Against a Doctor Doom capable of manipulating the multiverse, the Thor we know today simply might not be enough. And we've already seen a glimpse of that in the trailer, with Doom stopping Thor's attack using nothing but 2 fingers, the very same attack that nearly took
Can the room Thor defeat Doctor Doom? Oh, standard Doctor Doom, but then God of Emperor Doom. Wow. But there's still a good chance that, okay. Because a lot of people are saying that, like, we're going to get. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. It clicked. It's clicking. A lot of people were saying that it's going to be that Doctor Doom is going to be at some point in his most strongest state, the God Emperor Doom. He's going to be in that form. And then, if this is true about Thor leading up and working into Rune King Thor, we may get one of the biggest 1v1s of all time. God of Emperor Doom versus Rune King Thor. Oh my God. This is going to be insane if we get this. If we get this, this could be freaking insanity, dude. What the? Hold on, this can go crazy.
took down Thanos in Infinity War.
That's
so this
actually not
evolution would be
even-
Thor's natural next step, the man who vanished.
That's not
One of the
even
more
crazy to
unusual
say.
fan theories imagines that Victor Von Doom isn't simply trying to conquer the universe. He's trying to recover something much more personal, his own existence. The idea is that before the events of Avengers, Doomsday, Reed Richards made an extreme decision and erased Doom from reality itself. Instead of defeating him in battle, Reed used his scientific knowledge to remove Victor completely from history. That would completely change Doom's motivation. Doom wouldn't simply be someone searching for power. He would be someone who believes he was wronged by the greatest hero he ever knew. If Doom was erased and somehow
And gosh, it will just be this will literally be one of them things where when the villain was never in the wrong for real.
managed to return, he would have a much
When the
more
villain had
personal
a
reason
point to
go
do
after
what he
Reed,
did.
and everyone who allowed it to happen. The return of Iron Man.
Oh.
Robert Downey Jr.'s return to the MCU as Doctor Doom was already one of Marvel's biggest surprises, but it also opened the door to one enormous question.
Because no one thought that.
What if that isn't the only version of the actor we'll see in Doomsday? Could an alternate Tony Stark appear to face Doctor Doom? The idea makes sense because the multiverse has already shown that different versions of the same characters can exist, and in this case, Marvel could do something even more
Like guys, I was saying about freaking Spider-Man. That this, I mean, that there can be a whole nother Spider-Man being introduced, and we don't even know it. People just want to jump to Toby. People just want to jump to Miles. True, but after hearing this, it could be Toby, honestly.
symbolic.
But I still don't think it could be Toby, but I don't think it triggered a ping.
Tony Stark face a twisted version of himself. That would be incredible. On one side, the hero who sacrificed his life to save the universe in Endgame. On the other, Doctor Doom. Someone
Yeah, I don't think we should see him again though. I don't think because it's fine. Let him be. Leave him alone.
wearing the exact same face, but who believes the only way to protect the world is through absolute control? Beyond the emotional impact, that confrontation would carry enormous weight for Tony Stark's story. Tony spent years trying to build a suit of armor around the world to protect humanity. An alternate version of him could represent the path Stark never took, someone who allowed fear to win and decided to control everything instead. Of course, none of this has been confirmed by Marvel, but Robert Downey Jr.'s return naturally fuels these kinds of theories. After all, bringing back one of the greatest actors in MCU history just to play a
God.
villain would already be a huge gamble. Having that villain face an alternate version of Tony Stark himself would be exactly the kind of encounter only the multiverse could deliver. The War of Variants.
He's making this all even with the way what he's about to say right now. He's making this all sound like 9 out of 10. No, I say 7 to 8 out of 10 possibilities it actually happening.
With the multiverse
What the
reaching its
heck?
breaking point, one theory suggests that Loki will play a much bigger role than simply watching over the timelines. He could become the one
Ooh, I actually
responsible
like
for
Loki,
gathering
bro.
an army of variants to fight Doctor Doom. The idea comes from comic book stories, where alternate versions of heroes unite against threats that extend beyond a single reality. In this scenario,
Yeah, I do
Loki would
remember
use his
that.
knowledge of every timeline to find the most important warriors from each universe. That would create the
Strongest
opportunity to
one.
bring together different versions
That
of
would be
Captain America,
hard.
Wolverine, Black Panther, Spider-Man, and many other heroes who exist across.
Oh my God, it's clicking. Shuri dies. Then soon, wait, I'm about to, bro. I'm shooting this thing from Pluto, gang. God allowed me to see this potentially work out. God allow me to make it this far or that far. Here we go. You ready for this? Finna mess y'all up, right? Loki goes out to get the strongest heroes, right? Of multiple universes, the strongest variants, right? Fury's gonna die in Doomsday. These movies are gonna happen. There's a movie that's somehow connected to Wakanda, whatever, right? We're gonna be introduced to the new Black Panther that was just introduced as well. At the end of that credit scene or somewhere in that movie, we're gonna see Loki coming. Join me. I need your help. I just cooked up something, one of the greatest theories in all of Marvel, man. This could be one of the biggest theories I've ever seen in my life. You don't understand how much impact this could hold upon my life. The CIA may be out to get me as we speak. The Ruffalo brothers may be on my head, a bounty on my head even. Knowing something like this doesn't show a person's intellect, how brilliant one mind can be. The theory of Shuri die, then a movie somewhat connected to Wakanda, the introduction of the new Black Panther, then the movie, one of the most beautiful movies we're gonna see in the future, the new Black Panther, and at the end, a whole movie, me, a man like me, predicting that the end credit scene could possibly be Loki reaching his hand out, asking the new Black Panther, join me. Aura chat, aura chat, aura chat, aura chat, aura chat,
Alternate realities. Meanwhile, Doctor Doom could assemble an army of his
Chat.
own using variants he has conquered or brought under his control. The result would be something far greater than a traditional Avengers battle. It would become a war for the future of every reality. And
The Secret Wars. Oh my god.
Loki would step into the role of commander of the multiverse's final resistance, the Next Generation.
Now, stick it up my butt, Sally, and call me Jody if I'm wrong here. Call me wrong. Okay. What I just said, what he just said about the Doom getting his mans, Loki getting his mans, and creating a war. Now, I don't know too much about Secret Wars and what it's caused by, how it happens, everyone who's in it. But that could be Marvel's way of Secret War. All these things leading up and it happening. One second. And we're back. All right. And let's just say, right, that that's Marvel way of Secret Wars. All that's gonna happen is gonna introduce the next generation. That could be crazy to happen.
After more than a decade following the same heroes, Doomsday could represent the moment Marvel finally passes the torch to a new generation. They even tried doing that after Endgame, but let's be honest, it didn't really work. So after Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars, the idea is that the MCU's classic heroes will have their final defining moments during the war against Doctor Doom, while the new generation of heroes...
That war, that could be actually crazy. That's gonna probably be the hardest one. Because it's gonna be like I said, the strongest of Thor, the strongest of Doom, fight. It's probably gonna be like Loki going to his brother. Loki sees this, see his brother lose and all that. See, they're gonna lose. Hear me, 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 hear me. They're gonna lose. When they lose, Thor's gonna be devastated, like broken, like done. I'm like Daniel would off himself, right? All this stuff happens. Loki, come back to brother. Listen, brother. We're going to kill him. I need your help. Then we're gonna see Rune King Thor, and that's when the fight's gonna happen of every variant versus every variant. Crazy happens. Things go on. Here is the new generation of Marvel.
steps into the spotlight. Characters like Sam Wilson, who now carries Captain America's shield, Kamala Khan, Kate Bishop, and several other younger heroes could become the center of the franchise's next era. That follows something that's very common in the comics. Major
No disrespect, what the dudes at though?
crossover events like Secret Wars usually reshape the entire universe, opening the door for new versions of familiar characters. The goal wouldn't simply be to say goodbye to the old heroes, but to transform everything they built into the foundation for Marvel's future. But we won't know if any of these theories are true until December, when Avengers Doomsday finally arrives in theaters. Until then.
God, allow me to see that day, please. Let's do this on my brother's birthday too. A lot of these theories sounded crazy. Only okay, he didn't even do anything. See how dumb this nigga is? Didn't he? It was lied about, bro. Women being women. The Captain America fall theory makes the most sense to me. True. True. I'm calling it now. Calling it now. Rogue King Thor, Captain America, Iron Man as Dark Doom. I'm gonna say much right now. My biggest theory. Ready? Watch this chat. Avengers lose. Right? Avengers lose. People die. People die. Thor extremely upset about it. Extremely upset about it. Boom takes over. Turning into emperor dome. Then low key gets variants to fight back. Then goes to his brother Thor to ask for help with fighting Doom. And this is when kind of for help he accepts. Then he accepts fighting Doom. This is when we going to see Rune King Thor, and it'll be maybe Loki's variants versus Doom's variants. And Secret Wars as its as uh, variants for Marvel's Secret War. And then we are introduced to the new generation. This, my biggest theory. Avengers. Hold on, I gotta put this right. Is the this is my biggest theory. Okay. Avengers will lose. People are going to die. Okay. No. Let's get the scene right. This will be the biggest theory of Marvel ever. I'm shooting this from a place you would never ever want to be in your life. And why from there? Because this is insane. This is what you think not a normal human being could think about. How does one brain think of a theory such as this? My biggest theory is for Marvel is that in Avenger Doomsday, Doctor Doom's gonna win. Key people will die. Tragic. Shuri, probably someone from the Thunderbolts, maybe even Ant-Man. But people die. But one man won't. And that man will be Thor. Thor is not gonna die, no. He's gonna stay alive and walk away from it all. He's going to be in the most, thank you, by the way. He's going to be in the most depressed state in his life. That Loki steps up as he can wield his power. Loki is going to go into all these universes and grab every single strongest character that he can. In the meantime, Doom is doing what he's doing. He's doing the same thing. Just for power and control. Something's gonna happen. Well, low key, that Doom's gonna cross paths. But before this happens, low key, ask his brother one more time, Thor, I need your help for this last fight. This fight that's gonna determine every single thing about our future. This fight can be the biggest fight for centuries upon centuries. I need you to have me fight Doom. But not just any Doom. Emperor Doom. He's going to fight Emperor Doom and his variants. And when that happens, that is where we are going to see Rune King Thor. And this fight will be Marvel's Secret Wars. And whatever happens, happens in that movie. But that will be the period of my generations. Marvel. Avengers, X-Men, and whatever else you want to think about. We will become the new eyes of the next generation of Marvel.